Hi everybody, welcome to the Mountain Gamer. Today I will be taking a look at a solo variant for Clank in Space. I got the game at Christmas and we played it over the break probably 5 times. We fell in love with it and we immediately thought, why isn't there a co-op version of this? It seems like there could be, right? You go in together, you steal some stuff, trade some stuff, and then quickly run back out. Well, there isn't, but anyway, so we thought, all right, let's do it. So we invented some rules, made some cards and all that. We tested out 2-3 times, but we can never get the balance right. It was either very breezy and boring or extremely difficult. So we kind of put that aside because, you know, time and things to do. Time passed, then I played the app version, like the solo version with the app, and it's fine. But that got me thinking, what if I take the co-op version that I had and tweaked it? And I did, and it works. So let me show you. So much wind. So this is it. This is the main change. Whereas in the app version, you were just trying to get the most victory points as possible. In this version, you're now trying to grab everything that's on this list. Now, don't mind these other numbers. Let's just look at the first numbers everywhere here. So to win the game, you need to pick up 5 minor secrets, 3 major secrets, 2 market items, 2 memory cores, 15 credits, 1 power crystal, 1 artifact, and 1 escape pod. If you do not pick up all of that stuff, you lose.
Le who? The her.
The other thing you need is this thing here, which is kind of like a backpack. So you can never have more than 6 of either minor or major secrets. So as you pick them up, you're going to put them on this card, and then you can spend them whenever you see fit. Now, the main reason I did this was, one, to just give you a limit to make things harder, but also to make use of tokens like these. Now, like when you pick up this guy right here, you would raise the, the boss marker one step up, and then you would, normally discard this. But what I was trying to do is to have you keep them if you wanted to, and use them later on for their victory point value. And I did this with the points lottery. So my idea was, during the game, you could spend victory points either on tokens or on cards, because as you know, a lot of cards have victory points. So during your turn, you could spend victory points in order to roll a d6, and that would enable you to, gain some benefits. So for example, in a situation like this, if I spent these 2 for a total of 6, I would discard them. I would roll a d6, and then I could potentially heal 1 damage, heal 2 damage, remove 3 clank, remove 2 clank, put 2 black cubes back in the bag, or draw 2 cards. Now this, doesn't seem like a big deal, but it really is, because towards the end of the game, you're going to be racing to get back, you're going to be wounded, it's going to be, all hell's going to break loose. So spending these victory points to possibly get something good is a big deal. And I put a thing here that if you're unsatisfied, you may trash 1 non-starter card to re-roll. So it has to be something that you've bought during the game that you could just trash in order to re-roll. So that's basically it. There is no change. If you spend that, you don't get a victory point back. You spend it, it's 7, but you activate this thing here for 6. You roll your die, yada, yada, yada. And while we're on the subject of tokens, this guy here, when you pick it up, you make 3 clank. So you cannot save this guy. When you flip it, it's like, oh crap, I made 3 clank. And then you discard it. Yeah, it sucks, but that's life. Another change to the gameplay states that at the end of your turn, if there are still 6 cards in the adventure row, you would roll a die. Now this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You roll 4, that one, you trash it, forcing you to then replenish and possibly starting up a boss attack. That's almost like what the app does. It just, creates a sense of danger, and it just helps to cycle the cards, because essentially if you don't want to be attacked ever, just never buy anything, right? Well, this kind of forces you to always be trashing something. Keeping in line with that idea and what the app does, I also made this card here that when you pick up your artifact, forget the first here, this was made for co-op, but when you pick up your artifact, flip it, and this says at the start of each player's turn, roll a d6, trash cards in the adventure row equal to that position. So not only will you be rolling a d6 at the end of your turn, but you will now be rolling it at the start of your turn. So more cards will get trashed. Again, this is very similar to what the app does, and it's a good system, so I thought I would implement it in the solo version here. Now, as far as setup goes, you'll be putting the boss marker just above the 2-player space here. All the rest of this stays the same. You will be removing 2 of these artifact tokens and, randomly, and just putting them out on the board. Now, be aware that if these 2 aren't here, it's going to make the game more difficult because you'll need to actually go to the back of the ship before you can come back. That being said, the rest is pretty much the same. One major change is you'll be removing 8 of the black cubes from the game, completely from the game. Next to the Erratabot, you will be putting this card, the Overpriced Boots. You'll be using this probably towards the end of the game. Now, you can always spend $4 to gain 1 move. It's expensive, but as it says, expensive, yes, but they're self-lacing. So yeah, you can always spend $4 to gain 1 move. We put 3 Clanks in the Clank box down here, and yeah, that's it. You're ready to play.
Okay, so you might be wondering, why would I play with this? Why don't I just play with the app? Well, the app is fine, but your reason for playing, or the win condition, is just getting more points, right? So you're playing, and then at the end, you're like, how many points did you get? And you say 82, and the app says, good, or you say 100, and it goes, excellent. Sure, okay, fine, but it's not very gratifying, and I always felt like there wasn't a lot of danger. Now, granted, I did not play the whole campaign, and if there is a mission like this, tell me, but I always felt like I was kind of not running through the ship, lightly jogging through the ship, buying stuff, then winning the game. It wasn't that hard, it wasn't that stressful. To me, Clank is a heist, it's a race. When I play against my wife, man, when she picks up that first artifact, I'm like, dude, I need to run. I need to get out of there before she wins and ruins my life forever. Love you, honey. So now with this paper version of a solo game, it feels very stressful. Every time I've played it, it's like, it's just like you got a gun to your head and you're like, I have to run through the ship and I have to pick up this whole list of things. If I do not, I will lose. And every time I crawl out of that ship, half dead, my pocket's full of gold, and I'm like, whoo, thank the baby Jesus. And that's the feeling I'm looking for when I'm playing Clank. If I'm just breezing through the ship, I don't know, man. If I want to shop, I'll go shopping. Anyway, try it out. You don't have to use all of the rules. Like, if you don't want to use the points lottery, you don't have to. But I suggest at least printing out the heist list and making that your win condition instead of just tallying up some boring points. So try it out, tell me what you think, and I will see you on the next one. Neighbors, man, so many neighbors in the woods.